I really feel for our European friends. Well, I don't actually, but it's polite to say so. They sit in their little cafes with their noses and their pinkies in the air, and they look out across the pond and see these uncouth, unrefined, unapologetically unthin Americans eating hot dogs, belching, and still teasing the French about that little unpleasantness back in the 1940s. Then they shudder and thank the heavens that they live in a country that is refined and cultured and dignified. And then, they tune into their favorite form of social media, or I guess a few of them still read the newspaper, and they open it up, and what do they see? An unending stream of what's going on in the world. And by that I mean, what's going on in the United States of America. Oh, look, the president just fell up the stairs 3 times. Or look, the former president just said something mean. Oh, look, fewer Americans are dying of COVID. Well, you can't win them all. Any American who has ever been to Europe knows that Europe is absolutely obsessed with America, while the reverse is most certainly not the case. Ever read the Harry Potter books? Europe is sort of like Wormtail, hating the popular kids, but constantly following them around nevertheless. And I say all this while having, and I mean this, a great love for the history and the culture and the people of Europe. It's a great place to visit. What I don't love, and what keeps the Europeans following the Americans around like vicious little poodles, bulldogs, and dachshunds, is that they are less free. Now, that sounds pretty innocuous, doesn't it? Less free. I mean, nobody's completely free. And certainly in the US right now, we're at a point in the political cycle where we're losing freedom, not gaining it. But the country, the people, and the very fabric of American society are, even in these difficult times, more interested in individual liberty, opportunity, and the potential for advancement through hard work and good decisions than the folks across the pond. They just are. It's embedded in our DNA. And don't look now, leftists, but it tends to be embedded in the DNA of those who come here seeking opportunity, at least much more so than the countries they came from. Here in America, our DNA is telling us it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how well you dress. It doesn't matter what college you went to, what family you come from, or what town you were born in. It doesn't even matter how much money that you have at the moment. Deep, deep down, most of us believe, no matter how many times people tell us we are wrong, that the only thing that really matters is how free you are. And if you are more free than your competition, you will triumph in the long run. Why do you think that the international language of business is English? And no, it is most certainly not because of the English. Why do you think the international currency is the dollar? Luck? So not only are Europeans bombarded with news about ugly America, worse, much, much worse, they are consistently, to use a great American expression, getting their asses handed to them economically. Those gum-chewing, sweatpant-wearing, non-French-speaking Americans swaggering through the streets of Paris are beating them where it counts again and again and again. You can only tell yourself so many times that it doesn't matter because at least you have good wine before it starts to ring really, really hollow. But this isn't a popularity contest, clearly. And actually, that seemingly innocuous statement speaks volumes about what works and what doesn't in human society. Americans, as a people, are not particularly interested in popularity contests, not when it comes to the way their society is structured. When it comes to that, they are much more interested in productivity contests, probably more so than just about anywhere else in the world. Success in America is defined less by who you know or even necessarily what you know. It is more defined by what you do. America is still, after everything that has happened recently, still the closest thing to a meritocracy that exists on the planet. And when you think about it, how can a society that rewards based on merit be beaten by a society that rewards based on anything else? Now, I've engaged in some rhetorical excesses in this segment, no doubt proving the worst fears of any Europhile within earshot. So let me try to make amends in the following way. Did you hear the one about the French tank with 3 gears? Yeah, 2 for reverse and 1 for forward in case of attack from behind. And then there's the one about